Discussion topic is switch and hub in networking. So the various topics that we are going to cover are definition of switch and hub. Then we will be having pictorial representation of working of hub and switches. Then we will discuss about its role in our network. Then we will discuss layer by layer what are the different functionality of these networking devices in layers of OSI model. Then we will discuss about different types of switches. Then we are having some traffic monitoring rules of switches and hubs. And in the last we will discuss about MCQs related to the same topic. So let's move to our first slide. What exactly are switch and hub? These are basically networking devices as routers and gateways that are used to connect the multiple devices in the network so that they can share the information and communicate between each other. So the major functionality over here is the management of flow of data and its control, so that the data and information can be successfully transferred between the two workstations and successfully reach the destination from source port. So here there is transfer of packets in the form of information. So in the next slide we are having pictorial representation of switch and hub. We can easily see that there is central router that connects the hub and switch, which are further connected to multiple public pieces. So here we are connecting collection of pieces so that they can share the information with the help of the switch and hub. So in the next diagram with the yellow background, we can see that there are multiple workstations or PCs, personal computers, that are connected through the various ports provided in the hub. So in the last diagram, in the picture we can see what is the exact difference of physical structure of hub and switch. So let's move to next slide. What is its role in a network? So as we have discussed, switches plays really very important role. It is used as the connection point so that the various host and computer workstations can be connected and they can share the information. So the another important point is that these are really more reliable as compared to the other networking devices like Ethernet hub. So switches are more reliable. Then the important point is that it plays a really important vital role in the LAN's connection also. From the mid size to the large size, LANs can be connected and can be managed with the help of switches. So what are the different functionalities of layer? It is also called as multi-layer switch also. Why it is called as multi-layer switch? The multiple layers can work in the coordinated manner so that they can be work like bridging and they can transfer the data. So it is called as multi-layer switch. And the another name given to the switches are multi-port layer 2, which is also called as bridging. As bridging means that to transfer the data from one point to the another. So these are the two names provided to the switches. So here in the diagram also we can see we are having two switches. So they will work in the different layers of OSI model. So that is why it is called as multi-layer switching. So let's discuss how it works in coordinated manner in the different layers of OSI model. So in the first layer, what is the basic functionality? The basic use is that it just transfer the data. It is not able to manage any kind of traffic or the flow of data in the path. So this is the working in the layer 1. It just forwards the data, whatever it just receives with the single speed. So in the next layer, what is the functionality of these devices? Here the multi-port devices are required. Multi-port devices means that which can handle the multiple ports from the source and destination, and compatibility can be achieved in order to transfer the data. So switch, which works as network bridge, it is really capable to interconnect the various devices at home and offices also. So the third point is that it also acts as a buffer. Buffer means that whatever the packets or the data it receives, it stores for some time so that it can transfer it according to the requirement whenever the path is free, and it can just send the data. So in the third layer, the functionality is performed mainly by router, but sometimes some of the functions are achieved by switches also. So this layer is capable to be aware about IP multicasting through IGMP snooping, so that the data can be transferred in the multiple collection of workstations, so that delivery is possible at one time whenever there is request for the information. So in the layer 4 and layer 7 also, these devices are really helpful, in which in the layer 4 there is transfer of information of transport layer protocol, so that some wise decisions and new decisions can be taken as per requirement, so that the source and destination can use the various protocols that are provided in the layer 4, that is TCP and UDP. TCP is the transmission control protocol and UDP is the user datagram protocol. TCP is basically connection oriented protocol, whereas UDP is the connectionless protocol, and they are helpful for prioritizing the data transfer, and they can block also if the data transfer is having the least priority as compared to others. So in layer 7, what is the functionality of switch? Switch mostly prefers to just distribute the data and the load it is having according to the different URLs, that is the websites, and it can be viewed by the client on their systems. So in the next slide, we are having certain types of switches, that is unmanaged, managed. The third one is smart switches. Then the fourth one is enterprise managed switches. So let's discuss one by one. The first one is unmanaged switches. Unmanaged, as the name represents, it means that we are not having any kind of interface or options, so that we can configure it according to the requirement. So next is the managed. As the name suggests, managed means that we can easily modify the operation of switch as per requirement. Then the third one is smart switches. These switches are basically managed by some of the limited features provided by it. So the fourth and the last one is enterprise managed switches. These are really very helpful, and these are having complete set of modifying features like interfaces, and command linkage is also possible over here. Next is we are having traffic monitoring. So in order to monitor the traffic in the path during the transfer of data, we are having certain protocols or rules, we can say. So the first one is port monitoring. It just sends a copy of network packets for connection monitoring, so that it can check whether the connection has been established or not. The next one is S1, which is switch monitoring. S stands for switch, then MON stands for monitoring. Switch monitoring is used for controlling the amenities such as port mirroring, so that it can check the ports. So next we are having some advantages and disadvantages of hub. Hub is really less expensive as compared to other networking devices. It can easily used for connection of multiple devices also that are very distance apart. So it does not really affect the performance of network. Then we are having some disadvantages also. It just broadcasts to all the ports. So means flooding will be possible. But it is always useful in half duplex only. And if we are having multiple ports, then really it is very difficult for the working of hub. The next point is it does not have any kind of mechanism for handling of traffic, network traffic. Then collision detection and retransmission of packets is also really difficult and impossible in case of hub. So let's discuss some MCQs. How many types of layers are comes under this particular topic? So there are total 5 layers that work in coordinated manner in case of switch and hubs. So the next question is, which type of switch includes configuration protocols? So different options are given. So the correct answer is all of these. So this was all about the switches and hubs in the networking. Thank you so much.